Well, she's here. I mean, we're twinning in yellow to an extent. Good morning.
Wow.
Good morning, Pesha. I got you on that one.
All right. How are you?
I'm good. I have the blue. You cannot take me. I said this year, even though since I got up, my enemies have been trying to pull me down.
The village people.
My uncle. My
You
paternal uncles.
know.
Yes, I know them. Say, uncle, when I leave out, they bring me when I drink. People should let me walk.
And of course, you can hear her giggling on this side. Is Shundele Marceline Ayumbi. Marceline is our resource person. I know you know her, but today she's going to be more of the CEO of Vision of Hope and discuss about community engagement. Good morning.
Good morning, Percy.
How are you doing?
No, I'm doing great.
We're glad to have you here.
Same.
Because we are talking about morality. The key question is, where have we failed when we talk about the younger generation? Is it that we're too busy with our own lives, that we've abandoned them to figure out life on their own, and they're making mistakes, and we're blaming them for those mistakes? How to get it right once and for all? So Clarice, of course, has to look at the traditional aspect, what was done in those days, and what we can learn from that. But before you start, Clarice, let's just establish the conversation. When we talk about moral decadence, we say it is increasing, or is it just becoming more visible? It has always been.
It has always been, but actually there is an increase.
Okay.
There is an increase, and a significant increase, and to the negative direction, because more and more children are left on their own, and just like you said, the neglect from parents, it has caused them to want to find out life for themselves, to want to get the values, those values that were supposed to be instilled into them by their parents. They are not there to give these values. And so they turn to the social media platforms, they turn to their peers, they turn to the community. If you see a group, you just want to integrate yourself just because maybe somebody is not there that was supposed to be giving you guidance and the person is absent. And now you want to sort it on your own. You realize that they go to schools. When they're in schools, they do exam malpractices just because at home, cheating maybe somehow has become a part of them. I want to take an example. Maybe you are writing an exam, a public exam, and then a child comes and tells you, I'm just here to write my name on the paper because my parents told me they're taking care of it.
Wow.
And so it's just writing my name. So what values are we instilling into these children? It starts from home. It starts from home because when we give birth to these children, they're like a laptop that you have bought, and therefore it is empty, and you have to input into the laptop what you want to be in the laptop. And now the things that you input into these children will make them to grow up to have good morals, or to be to be delinquent in the society. So most often, because of work, because we want to look for money to take care of their needs, we leave them to the mercy of the nannies. We leave them to our parents who have become weak, who no longer have the strength that they had when they were growing us up to discipline these children. And because they have become weak, in their minds, they think they want to give the best of care to their grandchildren. And then they end up spoiling these children because they just feel, okay, when they grow up just like their parents, they'll become responsible citizens in the society. But that is not always the case, because these children, at one point, they have to turn to ask for help from sources that they are not supposed to ask help from. For example, the social media is the main thing that is spoiling our children today. And we have not cut down on it, because you see a young girl that is growing up in her teens, and because we want to give a good life to these children, maybe you give a phone to the child. A phone that is meant for communication becomes a platform for TikToking all the time. The child goes to school, doesn't focus in school because they are on TikTok doing videos. The child comes, the child is watching videos and being exposed to sexual platforms that they were not supposed to view, maybe at a particular age. You see, it tends to stimulate them. Psychologically, they begin to have the urge that, okay, I want to try this. You go to school, you see.
That just makes us reflect on, who are you going to blame? Because you gave the phone, and you did not supervise what was being used with the phone. And then it takes us back to when we didn't even have phones, and yet we were raised to be informed. And there's so many things we can learn from how life was in the past that maybe we can inculcate today. We'll do a crisscross of the conversation. So, Clarice, take us through that.
You know, Peshi, it's a pity that modernism has come to kill our tradition.
Yeah.
And we cannot deny the fact that the traditional way of bringing up a child has yielded fruits. Not boasting how we are, us, because we are proof or evidence of traditional ways of bringing up children. Modernism, it's a slow poison that is trying to destroy our society. Let's go down memory lane in the traditional way. When we were growing up, the first thing our parents would teach us is the respect of elders. Nowadays, children don't even know. They don't know that you don't need to talk loud to your elder sister. You don't need to talk loud to your mother. We see children beating their mothers and even fighting their fathers.
Yes.
In those days, we knew that the father was the head of the family.
Sacred.
It was sacred.
Yeah.
The mother was in charge of the kitchen, and the children were supposed to do the house duties without you following a child to. Now you hear a mother shouting, "They go and wash dishes, go and she's on her phone or she's pretending that she's reading." Those traditional aspects are dying. And when we're growing, our teachers were like our gods. You will never talk back to your teacher.
No way.
Because you knew that if my teacher is angry, I'm finished. But now with social media, she says that if you don't teach me, I'll go to TikTok. I will Google the information.
I know more than you.
Yeah, more than no.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
There is also what she said. Family orientation and coordination. You know, when we were growing up, our mother would say, "Okay, Clarice, when you come back from school, after eating, you go to the farm. From the farm, you come back, you take care of your kid once." There was orientation. And when you were going to school, she will ask you, "Which subjects are you having today?" I bet you, patient nowadays, some parents don't even know what.
They don't know.
What
when they come back
they don't
home,
even know the
they don't
timetable.
even talk to their children.
No,
Yeah.
They don't even know the timetable of the child. All they do is they follow money, they pay the school fees, they buy all what the child wants, and then the child is left with that vacuum. The child seeks to fill the space with social media, and sometimes it leads them to what we are seeing today. There is also what we call cultural pride and identity. This one, it's a harm. Some children don't even know how to speak their dialect.
That's right.
They don't know their cultural value. They don't even know that from my tribe, my traditional dish is. Because in the house, the best dish is fried rice and chicken.
Yes.
The best dish is pizza.
Not
The best, yes, they don't know their tradition. Those things, my mother, in a week, it was an obligation for us to eat fufu corn and jama when we're going.
Food, if you don't eat achu, the father tells you, there's no food in the house.
Yes.
Even if you serve them some other thing, they will tell you, no, there's no food in the house.
If you don't eat the fufu, what will you eat? So this is your traditional dish, and you must eat it.
And it's just like loving self.
Yes.
You're teaching your child to love who they are.
And love their culture.
If not, the
and
world
identify
will
themselves.
define them.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they will redefine, like you see a child say, now, Mama, please, if you can fry me egg and plantains, I will be happy. Or just make me some crackers and milk. Is that food? It's not food. You have to eat some good achu or some good to make sure that not only
Clarice
feeding
says, is that food?
No, but it's not food.
It's not food.
It's not food. To an African, that is not food. You have to identify yourself and reconnect with your community.
Yes.
There's also hospitality. You know, my father, thank you, Daddy.
Yes, so
He would tell, when you see a stranger coming, you greet.
yeah.
Papa,
And green by
with respect.
Respect.
is it.
Genuine respect.
Then you ask, can I give you water? But now sometimes you come into a home and the child is on TV, and when you're talking, say, please, you're blocking my view. They don't know how to greet. They don't, he will ask, Mama, for how long will this cousin stay with us? Because they don't know hospitality.
Yeah.
In some homes back then, there were not doors in the house.
Yeah.
The doors were open.
To relatives,
To
you could
relatives,
come in.
but now you have to. I know me and Pesci will pick a bone on this one. Call before you come.
Yes, you should.
Give me 5. Thank you.
because everything has tightened up.
Yes.
They need to budget for you. We need to allocate space where you'll be able to spend the night. That is it. So there is a lot of planning.
But I understand what you're saying.
But
at the
in
same
as much
time,
as we need the planning.
With relatives, you
Yes.
should be able to welcome your relatives home.
At any time.
At any
It
time.
teaches your child to live in a community.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's also moral integrity. Young girls know that for me to be beautiful and well seen, I should expose my body.
Wow.
And the mother was, no, c'est son âge, let her be, it's her age. She has to dress sexy. Sexy does not mean naked.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I usually say sexy is not a compliment. It's not.
It's
because
an insult.
It's actually
and
you
it's not
telling
like
someone
we are
that
talking
you can
about
be
our
used.
traditions. It's not our African culture
Yes, it's
for
not
a woman to dress exposing her body parts.
No, it's not. We should teach our children that it's not also by covering your whole body
Yes.
that it
With
makes
a
you
black heart.
morally
a black
upright.
heart.
That it makes you morally upright.
Yeah.
The fact is that we should let our children know that decency and moral integrity is part of us.
Yes.
You can be decent and moral in everything you do, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you address
By being
people,
honest.
the way you think, and
Yes.
being honest and humble.
Yes.
That gives you that moral integrity.
What about the solutions coming from your end? What do you think we can do? We can't say social media is going to stop.
It's
or
growing.
no television anymore. Or parents are going to stop being busy. But how can we manage that and still raise children with the right moral code?
We start first from the home. We make it a community subject that everybody should be involved in child upbringing. If we start from home, we start by instilling these values into the children. Teach the basic values that your child should know at a very tender age. I want to take an example with the Japanese. They teach their children from childhood to have respect, to be very clean. You don't throw litter dirts everywhere. And you see an example of when during the last World Cup, when they finished playing, you see all the Japanese, they got up and they picked the trash. That is because those values have been instilled into them from the childhood. Now, as a parent, as you ride with your children in your car, don't have the habit of throwing things out. You're training them that anywhere can be a dustbin. Yeah. So we should be able to instill good values into the children. Talk to the children often. Pray with these children. And don't also make prayer the only point, because your children can pray and speak in tongues, but does not have moral values that will make them represent the society well. So you should be able to watch their steps, guide them, have sessions with them. Maybe every weekend, just say this weekend is a family weekend. We are going to be discussing about our difficulties. I'm going to be teaching you about some basic things you should learn and do in the society. That will make you look like a responsible person. That will make you a responsible person, not look like.
Thank you so much, ladies. We can go on and on, but I'm sure you've grabbed something for yourself. But a quick question of the day, just to wrap this up, I'll start with you. What is that one thing that maybe your parents used to teach you as a child or warn you about that today you're like, thank you for doing that. I have this value in me now.
Hospitality.
Hospitality. That's why her doors are open for everybody, huh?
Compassion. Empathy towards others.
Thank you. Empathy for me as well. Thursday, we're going to have a brand new program, but tomorrow we will have Rose Mujonge. There are many announcements we're going to have on Thursday. So Mafani, bye. He's behind that camera. And to you, have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye.